Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to meet colleagues who are leading urban innovation around the world. My name is Yumin Lee. I'm the presenter as well as the interpreter on behalf of Gwangju International Center in Republic of Korea. I'm also here with Ms. Kyungmyeon Kim, the Action Officer of Care Policy Division in Metropolitan City of Gwangju. Ms. Kim is who have led this project at Gwangju Community Care from the beginning of the planning to this day. First, I'd like to take a moment to introduce our city, Gwangju. Gwangju has become an asset of humanity as a UNESCO Memory of the World. This is where May 18th democratization movement took place. In 1980, Gwangju was ruled by a military dictatorship. Even amidst the fear of citizens being killed, they were sharing food or donated blood for those who were injured. That's how the community was protected without a single disturbance because we, as a Gwangju citizen, looked after each other and we care for each other. However, despite Gwangju is known as a large city with a population of 1.43 million, it shows the second highest rate of extreme poverty layer by being underdeveloped and treated inequality. With it being how Gwangju was in the spirit from the past, now we're moving towards becoming a city that takes care of our neighbors. Cities around the world are experiencing rapid population aging. According to the UN World Population Outlook, the elderly population in 2100 ushering an era where 1 in 4 people will be elderly. It is a self-evident fact that demand for care due to aging is rapidly increasing. Furthermore, placing responsibility for care as unpaid work on family members, especially women within the family, can be the worst issue causing gender inequality. Our alternative now is to provide care solely through social support. However, the existing care system in Korea practiced either being selected or through applications. We provided support only to those who meet certain criteria, such as age and income, or to who have applied for the service. This inevitably leads to citizens being left out of the services, resulting in tragedy of living miserable lives. Please allow me to share the story. There was a mother and a daughter who did not get any social attention or support. The mother ended up dead due to illness, and the 4-year-old child was found starving next to her mother's decomposed body. This case clearly demonstrated the limitations of selectionism and the application-based policy. Therefore, Gwangju boldly removed the conditions and created a new care system by expanding 16 new services in support. I'll elaborate more with a photo in the next slide. Since our top priority was to ensure that no citizen is unable to receive support because they are unable to apply, first, mandatory visits are offered without submitting any application form. Second, we have come up with a system called a care call, which is one-stop access to all services with just one phone call. In particular, the core of innovation is the service of a delivery system. This is how the system works. Step 1. When a person in need of care is identified through a mandatory visit or a care call, then a one-on-one care manager will be designated. Step 2. The care manager will make a visit to identify the situation and then will make plans for services that are needed. Step 3. They will collectively request the services from specialized agencies which can be provided by visiting the person's home. As I mentioned, these are photos of 16 newly created services that Gwangju has supported so that anyone can get help when they need care by removing conditions. We help them to have a better living condition by providing house cleaning services, laundry, food delivery with nutrition, as well as a doctor's visit and much more. To create an innovative care system, first, we gathered city members together, form a task force in which everyone from administrators, private organizations, city council members, civic groups, and scholars participated. We analyzed the problem from each person's perspective and found alternatives together. A discussion forum was held to directly listen to citizens' opinions. Finally, Gwangju Community Care was formed through countless meetings with all city member sectors. Next, we assured implementation, which is a very important key here. We'll introduce in detail in the next slide. And to sustain the innovation, we developed our own computer system. The entire process from reception to actual service is recorded electronically. This system will help any personnel in charge by sharing data in real time. Lastly, spreading innovation. We shared our strategy with the 16 other cities that requested the benchmarking. By holding 9 forums, we ensured to motivate researchers so that social care could be treated as an important matter. Now, the biggest obstacle we had to overcome was ensuring the implementation. First, who would do this? This was the most important and difficult problem. After numerous discussions, the organization had to be reorganized, and a dedicated department was established in every district. As well, 320 public officials were designated as care managers. Second, there was a funding issue. To provide a fully funded care system to low economic status people who needed more access, an additional budget of $7.74 million was invested and will be funded yearly. But again, this amount could be funded because the city of Gwangju and 5 other districts persistently pursued. Third, the quality. Since the care service requires the humanism, the quality of service can make a huge difference by the ability of care managers and service providers. Therefore, we highly focus to educate them by offering 158 sessions so far. Fourth, the diversity. The issue with the diversity was the imbalance between supply and demand. In terms of medical services, we noticed that providers may not be available when the citizens in need. Therefore, we expanded the scope from medical doctors to Oriental doctors. I'd like to show you on what we gained by sharing the story. This is a 60-year-old man who was suffered with a severe back pain and that he couldn't move around. He started wetting himself in bed and time passed by 2 years. It made his neighbors suspicious and they filed a complaint against his place. Because he wasn't eligible to get social support with the previous system, he did not have any help. But through a care call that his neighbor made, the care manager was designated for a visit to his place. But he did not want to let anyone in because he knew that he was in a miserable life as a human being and felt shame on himself. The point of this story is that unfortunately, the previous system did not work for the citizen who needed care. However, with the new system, Gwangju Community Care, he could get services like a place being cleaned, a bathing service for the first time in 2 years. The medical service was provided, and nutritious meals were delivered. As the care began, the neighbors started to show empathy towards him as well by donating the clean household items or even volunteer to give him a haircut. The new system gave him a hope to live and show that he's still part of our society and we're there for him. And he began to communicate with the world again. The number of cases like this man reached 6,825 cases this year alone. They received support for 15,351 services in various fields. This project of innovation is about restoring human dignity and brings healthy lives to citizens. As the number of people making actual home visits, the rate of isolation, suicide, the lonely deaths will be prevented from increasing. Also, the collaboration between neighbors and social trust are increasing too. We had a survey from actual users and the results showed the life satisfaction increased by 9.2 points compared to before using this service, and the feeling depression dropped by 9.8 points. With the question if they think that they can get help when it's needed, the answer yes, increased by 16.6 points compared to before. To achieve Sustainable Development Goals 11, we're working towards an inclusive and sustainable city where anyone can get help when they need care. The power that made our innovation possible was a collaboration and empathy. A strong will to pursue by local governments, a dedication of a personnel in charge, a participation of private organizations, support from city council, advice from scholars and civic groups, not to mention the citizens who seek out for others who in need. Collaboration has created care for everyone that existed nowhere else. In the future, Gwangju will continuously spread the fact that care is a social responsibility and that is feasible both in Korea and around the world. Thank you very much.